Aloha, I'm Liz Keizer with CrossFit Kailua, and this is lesson 21 for the coach's development homework. Same as last week, I really enjoyed this assignment, loved getting outside my box, getting to know some people that I know them because they're familiar, right? But just kind of digging deeper, asking these questions that fall in line with Ford. So just to start with member number 1, I will try my hardest not to say their names. It's going to be hard. I am most often a morning coach, and so I don't spend a ton of time with the afternoon classes. But for the last couple of weeks, I have been coaching some of the afternoon classes, and so I just got to talking with member number 1, but real quick, actually, backstory, I got to back up for a second. The night before, I had gone to see the new Blue Angels documentary with my 8-year-old son, who says he's obsessed with aviation and wants to be a Blue Angel someday. So coming off of that, I was at the class the next day and was just chatting with member number 1, and turns out he was like, well, yeah, I used to be a pilot, and now I have a wife and 2 kids, and he was telling me about how he went to Notre Dame, and he's originally a Midwest boy. I'm originally a Midwest girl, so we're talking about his hometown in Kentucky and how he met his wife in Hawaii while he was flying. And I told him, I was like, well, that's so cool, you're a pilot. My son and I just went to go see the Blue Angels documentary. And he goes, those are all my friends because I was a Blue Angel. And I was just like, what? Like, you just became the coolest person that I've ever met. And can I introduce you to my son? Because he's going to want to pick your brain and he's going to want to be your best friend too. So we had a really good chat just about what it was like to be a Blue Angel and what it's like to just be, I think his current job now is that he's like commanding officer of the whole Pacific Northwest plus Hawaii, which is a massive job. And so just talked about, just the joys of flying and leading and his love of fitness, being active, having an active family. Really, he's just living the dream. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but he went to Notre Dame, and I have a nephew that went to Notre Dame, so that's just more to connect on. But yeah, it was easy to talk to him. It was not a struggle at all to connect. I just remember it being really easy and being really thankful that I actually coached an afternoon class and not just the morning classes that I most often coach. So member number 2 is actually the exact opposite kind of category. He is a regular in the morning classes. And I've been coaching him now for over a year, but generally he keeps quiet and keeps to himself most of the time. So even before this assignment, I found myself kind of trying to kind of crack the nut a little bit, like asking him questions and trying to get to know him a little bit. And just this last week, actually, I feel like I've learned more about him than I ever have before. He's been in the military since 1996. He has been deployed to some of the most insane locations, including Iraq and Afghanistan. He has lost friends. He's lost a cousin. He's seen some really hard things. Originally from Pennsylvania, currently living in Hawaii with his wife and his 3 kids. Loves outdoor stuff, loves fitness. He is super consistent in the CrossFit gym that I'm a coach at. Recently, I had found out within the last couple of weeks that his dad was on hospice for cancer, and he and I were able to really connect over that because I just lost my Hanai mom to cancer a couple weeks ago. And so that wound kind of being fresh, I felt like it was just a good chance to encourage him and know what he is feeling. And just speak words of life to him during that time. He recently went off island for his dad's celebration of life. He did pass away. And just this last week, he's been back, and he surprisingly has told me a little bit about it. So just thankful to be in a place where he's finally opening up and starting to talk more, so much to the point where actually at this morning's class, he randomly shared with me that he had rhabdo about a decade ago, maybe a little bit less than a decade. And he just shared with me his experience, which is obviously something I never knew about him, that he had rhabdo in his quads and he spent 5 days in the hospital. And he just genuinely enjoyed sharing that story with me. I think it's kind of like a badge of honor for him. The only struggle I think with that conversation, well, actually there was no struggle with that conversation. It was just more of a struggle getting to that conversation in terms of I've been kind of chipping away at him now for a year, and now the fruit is starting to show. So very thankful that he's opening up, not just to me, but to other members too. So yeah, I love this assignment. Thank you guys for everything you guys pour into us. We really appreciate it.